Round number 2. What do we got, Kate?
So at age 94, May Cryer is back on the front lines, hard at work, helping her country. One of the nation's original Rosie the Riveters, employed by Boeing in Seattle during World War II. She built B-17 and B-29 bombers to help support the war effort decades ago. Now she's fighting a different war as her nimble fingers turn out face masks to prevent the spread of the deadly coronavirus. People say to me, you helped win World War II, and now you're helping our country win this battle over the virus. These are nice things to hear, she said. She makes the masks like red polka dot bananas. Oh, bandanas. I was picturing red polka dot bandanas, which seemed
bananas.
perfect. Yes, I love that. But she makes
Horton here's a head ass bananas.
She does the red polka dot bandana masks to remind people of the Rosies, those women who toiled in manufacturing plants with their heads wrapped in bandanas so their hair wouldn't get tangled in machinery while they made supplies for military overseas. They were depicted by a famous World War II era poster of Rosie the Riveter in 1943. We all know that one. She said, it kept me from getting bored. I've got to be careful. My only exercise I'm getting is my trip to the refrigerator, she quipped. And she still gets out her riding mower to cut the grass. I love this woman.
God,
the face masks, like the bandanas, are helping her advertise the cause for the original Rosies to receive the gold medal. Many, like Cryer, are in their 90s and their numbers are dwindling. The Congressional Gold Medal is kind of like the Presidential Freedom Medal, kind of one of those things. It's awarded usually to civilians, but it's also been awarded to whole groups. And I think there's only been about 200 or so awarded throughout history. So I'm really hoping, I think the first part of it passed, so I'm pretty sure it's going to get put through.
Yeah, it's passed through the House and it's got to pass
has.
through the Senate, because she actually, the story goes on to say, this isn't just something that I know. The story goes on to say that she went to the 75th anniversary of D-Day recently and sat by Nancy Pelosi. And she told Nancy Pelosi about her story and how things are going on. Soon thereafter, it was passed in the House. It's waiting for the Senate. It needs 60 co-sponsors. Right now, it has 29, which I think doing things like this really pulled it off. And I don't want to move on from the story before we talk about how fire polka dots are. Do you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Just the pattern in general?
Yeah, I love polka dots. I wish polka dots would come back. Polka dot, like golf polos, unbelievably cool.
Yeah,
I
think they actually are making a somewhat of a comeback in men's button-down shirts, kind of little, they call them micro dots. But yeah, it's a polka dot. So I agree with you, chaps. In the right setting, I agree that they do look good.
I'm glad we can find that common ground. Rosie the Riveter, but being able to go through, when I went to Hawaii last summer, I went to the World War II memorial there. They actually have an Army one that's on right near where the military hotel is, Malikoa, I think it's Halikoa. And so you go in there, and one of the big displays they have is Rosie the Riveter. And thinking back to being 94 years old and being some part of something that's really iconic would be such a cool experience at 94, that know that people still appreciate what you did based on this iconic image, even though they might not know the story behind it. The image is there. And imagine her fingers being described as nimble at 94 is crazy to me. 94 years old, still nimble fingers, and still doing something that helps people out. She sounds like a lovely woman.
Those women too. I mean, that's kind of the reason, I feel like is what really kicked off like modern feminism and us. You know what? We want to be equals in the workforce, because when all the men returned home to take their jobs back again, we were all like, actually, we can do stuff now. We turns out we can do these badass jobs
now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. But yeah. So I just feel like these women definitely paved the way for perhaps where I'm sitting now. Who knows? Could I be talking about tits out on the beach this weekend on a podcast event? You know? So.
Absolutely not. I think if you have connection to Miss Cryer, please hit us up. I would love to interview her and have her on the pod to tell her story from the first person. I think that would be great. She seems like a lovely lady. I mean, honestly, even if it's not to do a full out interview, even if it's just for us to go there and just drink a whiskey, I think she would get off the lawnmower. We'd have a whiskey and she could tell us some tales. So let's move on to round 3.
I just looked up out of curiosity, Rosie the Riveter, because I wanted to see if it was an actual person. Because when you initially told the story, I thought it was her, but it was actually inspired by a woman. And what I was going to say was the Rosie the Riveter poster, dare I say, she was a very attractive lady in the poster. And the actual lady, she just died 2 years ago. And they're showing, a more recent photo of them. And she's still, older
That's
lady.
what's important
Still looks
here,
amazing.
Cons.
Yeah, I'm glad we circled back on that.
No, Kyle, cut that. I was just saying that for our own.
No, don't cut it.
No, don't cut it.
Classic Cons.
Classic Cons.
Cons.
Horny Cons back at it again.